Trojans for Black and White Sports. Let's take a further look at Bubba Wallace and his little hoaxy hoax he had, right? His little noose situation that wasn't really a noose. It was a damn garage pool rope. Yesterday I came out and said, well, he's either a dumbass or he's a liar. Well, of course, we found out the FBI investigated and came back and said no hate crime, in which time Jussie Smollett started trending on Twitter earlier today. Why? Because this looks eerily similar to the bullshit he pulled. Remember him? Well, so we're going to go over a couple of things here real fast. Wallace thanked NASCAR and his team Wednesday afternoon. It's been an emotional few days. First off, I want to say how relieved I am that the investigation revealed that there wasn't what we feared it was. Interesting, because there was a CBS interview where you looked awfully disappointed that this wasn't in fact a hate crime. Shouldn't the goal always be root against the hate crime? Just throwing that out there. I want to thank my team, NASCAR, and the FBI. Odd. John Matrix just did a video on this channel earlier about the fact that, of course, the media, Nick Wright, FS1, has decided to go after the FBI. Of course they are. Law enforcement, right? For acting swiftly and treating this as a real threat. I think we'll gladly take a little embarrassment over what the alternatives could have been. Make no mistake, though some will try, this should not distract from the show of unity we had on Monday and the progress we made as a sport to be more welcome, having more welcoming environment. Look, everybody wants NASCAR's sport to grow, I'm sure, right? Welcome new fans in. But here's the problem, Bubba. You're driving a Black Lives Matter car, which means you're doing what? You're making a political statement and using a group that blatantly in interviews on CNN have said they hate Donald Trump, which means you got a leftist bullshit Democrat agenda. And guess what? If you're driving a Black Lives Matter car, you hate Donald Trump. Funny, Jussie Smollett did too. So much so he faked a hate crime. The FBI finds out your noose is a hoax. That feels awfully fakey to me, right? They prove that it's not a hate crime. Now, in my video that I did yesterday, I got a hell of a lot of comments. And a lot of the narrative coming from NASCAR fans was, remember how the NASCAR president said when he found out whoever left this noose in Bubba Wallace's garage, by the way, the noose was on video to have been there way back in October 2019 at least. It was a garage pull rope. Bubba, you've been around garages how long? Your entire life. Your dad was a driver, right? God, that's fishy. I'm sorry. That's fishy, right? Would be banned for life. Now, President Trump signed some kind of police reform the other day. Got some good stuff in it. But one of the things that's in there, if I'm not mistaken, is that there's going to be some punishment when reporting a false hate crime. In other words, I call up, I report a hate crime, but I made this shit up. Well, guess what? There's going to be punishment for that. Bubba Wallace. So I've got to wonder now is the FBI investigating Bubba Wallace? I hope they at least look into it, right? Because let's face it, saying that there's a noose hanging in your garage brings you a hell of a lot of publicity towards your Black Lives Matter virtue signaling shit show that you just started that you're running. Right? And before you come on here, look, people come on here and call me racist. Look, what happened to George Floyd was repugnant. He was murdered. There's nobody condoning that shit. I said it was the one time that you had everybody on both sides of the aisle actually in favor and in agreement on something. And then motherfuckers went out and started burning shit down and robbing Nike stores. And people said, fuck you, criminals, we're out. We're out, just like that. Okay? So I don't want to hear that I'm racist. I'm not going to condone criminal activity because there was another criminal activity. Okay? So hell no, I'm not racist. But look, don't throw Black Lives Matter shit at me when 100 people just fucking died in Chicago, and them motherfuckers aren't marching the streets there. Bunch of hypocritical bullshit. Certain Black Lives Matter is what the cards should say. Okay? So, it raises a question. If this is determined to have been a hoax from Bubba Wallace, what is the president of NASCAR going to do then? A lot of people, make no mistake, in that video I made yesterday, are calling for Mr. Wallace to have a lifetime ban from NASCAR. A lifetime ban. And look, if there's an investigation into what he did and it's determined that he did just come out and willy-nilly accused whatever, which is what it sounds like. Look, Bubba, you're a grown man in the current... I made a video on my regular channel, Rhodes Rants, go subscribe. I made a video on my regular channel earlier today where I talked about the fact that what Bubba Wallace just did was dangerous. And it's dangerous because of the state and the climate the country is in right now. Hell, you could have started a race war over this shit. A noose is a big deal, and motherfucker, you better be right. You better be right. Before you come out and make this kind of a claim? You couldn't have walked around to other garages and been like, oh, there's one, there's one, there's one. Hell, I thought the garage door opened and I thought there was a noose hanging there in front of you. There wasn't. It was over to the side. It was so obvious. We've seen pictures of it now. Or did you see that and think, here is opportunity? Here is opportunity for the virtue signaling message that I am trying to give to everybody. This is going to bring a lot of attention to my cause. And did you use it as opportunity? People say, oh, but Rhodes, his crew members found that. I don't give a fuck. That's his crew members. He's got ownership of them. It's his responsibility. And so is it of anybody that's above Bubba as well. I'm sorry. You got ownership. You got management of it. Bubba could have stepped up and told his crew members, well, let me take a look, see what you did, blah, blah, blah. I heard his sob story on Don Lemon. Is there a bigger Trump hater, really? You know, out there? I don't know. Maybe everybody on The View. So, black and white sports fans, tell me what you think. Should the FBI investigate Bubba Wallace as to whether or not this is a false claim of a hate crime? And if they do, does NASCAR have the balls to actually do something about it? I said they would not ever, no matter what, do more than fine him. And I don't think they'll do that because they would be too scared of what the left-leaning media would do to them. Personally speaking, if they determined that this was a hoax, and look, his crew members will dime him out if there's enough pressure put on them, I guarantee you. If this was determined to have been a hoax or a publicity stunt, he should be banned for life from NASCAR. Get out of here. We don't have time for hate crimes or cry wolf hate crimes either. Because you know what you just did? You made it harder on the next guy. You did. Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. Ban Bubba for life. I think it's interesting. I think it's something that the FBI, I hope, and I bet, truth be known, whether Bubba knows it or not, I bet the FBI's sniffing around. We don't know that. I don't know that. That's speculation. But I bet they're sniffing around to whether or not Bubba Smollett Wallace might have thought he had a publicity opportunity here. The Colin Kaepernick of NASCAR. Peace. I'm out. Till next.